And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. Jaguars 7-4. Awesome game yesterday. Maybe it wasn't fun to watch. It was very stressful. But I'll tell you what, whenever the Jaguars win, there's really no better feeling. I mean, it's really is a damn shame how much the Jaguars winning and loses really affects our just week. Because I remember 2 weeks ago, the Jaguars had dropped that game to the Texans, and I was just so low, so very low. Fast forward 2 weeks, and I feel so great about the Jaguars, and I feel so good about the potential path ahead of us because the Jaguars just go 3-3, that gets you to 10-7. I mean, that's the situation that the Jaguars have set up for themselves, and the Jaguars still have some very manageable games up ahead. And what's really cool is that the AFC South playoff race is getting pretty crazy here. The Colts at 8-3. The Colts have lost, I think, 2 out of their last 3. They just lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime. And I'll tell you what, their schedule is so brutal. I didn't really realize how brutal it was until I actually took a look at it yesterday. But let me take a look real quick. They have one second. The Colts have versus the Texans, at Jacksonville, at Seattle, at home against the 49ers, and then versus Jacksonville, then at the Texans. I mean, they have 6 games left against 6 potential playoff teams, or I guess 6 games left against 4 potential playoff teams. The Jaguars have Titans, Colts, Jets, Broncos, Colts, Titans. Relatively easy. And then the Texans are about right in the middle. The Texans have the Colts, the Chiefs, which is tough. And then they have the Cardinals, which honestly, the Cardinals, they play in all these one-score games. So, that's a tough one. I mean, the Cardinals, they're a tough team. They may not have a good record, but they're going to go out there and they're going to compete for sure. At home against the Raiders aren't great. At the Chargers will be fighting for a playoff spot. And then at home against the Colts. So the Jaguars definitely have the easiest schedule. But the Jaguars are in a situation where it's pretty crazy because, 8 days ago, I was so down and out. 8 days ago, I was so worried about the Jaguars dropping a game to the Chargers and the Jaguars going to 5-5. And I sit here and I'm like, wow, we really squandered a 4-1 record and we're just going down the toilet right now. Big credit to Liam Cohen and the crew. The Jaguars have won 2 games in a row, and now the Jaguars sit at 7-4, currently possessing the number 6 spot in the playoffs. And the Jaguars are in a very real situation where if the Texans beat the Colts next week and the Jaguars beat the Titans, the Jaguars would be beating the Colts in the tiebreaker, and then the Jaguars would be the number 3 seed. I mean, how crazy is that? Absolutely nuts. So I will say I don't know who I'm rooting for next week because the Colts and Texans play next week. Like, I almost look at the Colts schedule and say, hey, maybe it's better to actually root for the Colts to win because, the Texans scare me more than the Colts, to be completely honest with you. Whenever you play a defense like that, it's very scary. The Texans are battle tested. They've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. The Colts have not. I mean, first year with Daniel Jones, and then Shane Steichen was probably on the hot seat going into this year. I mean, I think he was in a situation where if he missed the playoffs, he would be probably fired. But they're not as battle tested, and they're really going to show their worth. I mean, this is a huge game against the Texans, to be honest with you. But they're going to really show their worth next couple of weeks where they play 2 AFC South teams, and then the Seahawks will be really tough as well. So we'll just have to see. And then, it's funny because the 3 teams in the AFC South with winning records, and then the Titans are over here competing on Tankathon. It's kind of funny because I actually took a look at Tankathon just because I was kind of curious at what it looked like. I have no idea what the, where things stand when it comes to the actual tanking race. So right now, for those who are wondering, Titans do have the number 1 pick right now. They're 1-10. Giants are the number 2 pick at 2-10, which Giants could be a dangerous team with a top pick because, it feels like they got some talent. Jackson Dart might be the answer, and they're missing some of their best players, Cam Scadaboo, Malik Neighbors. They got some good pieces on defense. They could be a team that in 2026 goes from like worst to first in that division. New Orleans at number 3, Jets at number 4, Vegas at number 5. So that's where things stand right now. And I hope the Titans keep the number 1 pick after this week because, man, it's a big one. It's a big one. In the NFL, it really goes to show that you cannot take any team lightly in the NFL because, Jaguars almost dropped to the Cardinals. And you look around, just a lot of one-score games around the league for sure. It seems like every year some teams always collapse down the stretch. And that's what I was making a point with one of my buddies today. It's like the NFL, it's all about when you peak. Like the Colts were peaking early on in the year. And the person I was talking to is a Rams fan. And he's a little bit worried that like they're playing too good right now, right? And the Rams certainly right now they're peaking. But will that continue? We'll see. Have the Jaguars peaked yet? I don't know if the Jaguars have peaked. Maybe in that 3-game winning stretch or whatever it was when the Jaguars got to 4-1. Is that peaking? I don't know. The Jaguars certainly don't seem like they're playing their best football, but are the Jaguars capable of playing beyond that? I still don't know right now if the Jaguars are truly a great team. I guess they are a good team because they're 7-4. But I mean, I'm worried about every opponent we play, and I'm not confident going against any team. I will say, I'm much happier that we are in the AFC as opposed to the NFC. Because the NFC, I'll be honest, the NFC is freaking scary. There are multiple teams I'm afraid of in the NFC. I mean, the Rams look crazy good. The Bears are winning some games. The Seahawks are really tough. I mean, the Packers. That's a tough team over there, the division. And I'll be honest, in the AFC, nobody truly scares me. Like I respect the Patriots, but I don't think they're at the point where they scare me right now. The Broncos have a really good pass rush, but they struggle in a lot of areas. Like their offense, like they don't score points until like the fourth quarter. Colts are in a little bit of a downward spiral. The Bills, I mean, they were not impressive on Thursday night when I was hate watching them. Chargers already beat the Chargers. Ravens snuck in at 6-5. I mean, is there, and of course the Chiefs kind of on the outside looking in. Houston, if they get in, I'd like to keep Houston out. But there's nobody in the AFC. Like if we get into the playoffs, of course, I respect these teams greatly, but there's no one that truly scares me. Like if the Jaguars were in the NFC and the first week we're playing against the Seahawks, yeah, I might just be happy with a playoff appearance. So I don't know, man. Lots of things here. Steck says, I agree the play has not been good, but the Jags have played great games already. If they can just repeat like the Chargers, AFC is not that scary. Yeah, that's the thing. And the Jaguars are certainly capable of playing great football. They really are. We see, if the Jaguars can dominate the trenches, which I'm happy that the Jaguars are finding ways to generate pass rush. Anthony Campanelli called a great game. I mean, the 4-man blitz doesn't always get there, but he dials up good blitzes at the right times, and they were key at several pivotal moments. The Jaguars' offensive line has had some really good games as well. Honestly, I'm looking forward to getting Brian Thomas Jr. back. As much as he scares me, I go out there and I kind of look around, and I just don't feel like the Jaguars' passing game is that intimidating. Like Jacoby Myers is a great guy, but he's a guy, right? He's like, I think the Jaguars have elite wide receiver 3s and 4s, maybe even wide receiver 2s and 3s. Like the wide receiver 3 and 4s, like I'll take Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington over the field. I mean, those guys I love them. They're insane. But we don't have the wide receiver 1 right now. That's alpha. That's go-to. And can Brian Thomas Jr. return and be in that form? I don't know. I'd imagine he'll return against the Titans, which is exactly how I wanted the injury, I guess, to play out. I wanted him to miss the Cardinals game and come back against the Titans. And I want the Jaguars just to pepper him with targets against the Titans. Get him acclimated, because if the Jaguars are going to make noise in the playoffs, I think we're going to need a wide receiver 1. And Brian Thomas Jr. can be that guy. We've seen him be that guy. He just needs to be it. And obviously, the elephant in the room, and that is Trevor Lawrence. Golly, this guy, man. It's like, you cut up some of his best plays, and it's like, man, those are some good balls. Like both the throws to Parker Washington, the one in the back of the end zone, the way he avoided the pressure, stepped up and threw it, insane. Even the one in overtime to the right sideline, insane. But man, those interceptions, those last two were just ridiculous. And I don't know if that's just what we had to expect, right? Are we just going to have to expect this up and down Trevor Lawrence, this you got to take the bad with the good? I certainly don't want to. But if he can try to play some mistake-free football and not put us in harm's way, man, we could really do some crazy stuff. So in the playoffs, a lot of that comes down to the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is definitely capable, but he's definitely wishy-washy, and he worries a lot of people. Shout out to Love from Praha. What's up, man? Unless the AFC collapses, I'm not seeing us any better than a divisional whooping. We have the pieces, but the mental mistakes are not it. And yeah, and I'm going to bring this up on the AFC South roundtable tomorrow night, which, by the way, check out the AFC South roundtable. We'll be bringing a heat tomorrow night. I imagine it's going to be a packed crowd because there's obviously there's 3 teams with winning records. We're in 3 teams in a playoff hunt. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if the Jaguars win the AFC South, then shame on the Colts and the Texans, because the Jaguars really have no business winning this division. The Jaguars roster was not built and was not set to make it to win this division. The Texans were. The Texans built their roster and built things up where this is going to be their Super Bowl push. Even the Colts went all in. They for once, the GM went out there and spent some money on some big free agents. They traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. They're trying to make a Super Bowl push. The Jaguars, we went bargain bin shopping and brought a bunch of guys in just to fill roster spots. We didn't re-sign any of our unrestricted free agents. We were just out here saying, okay, we're going to put this team out there. We're still building this thing up, and we're also doing it without impacts from any players drafted in the first 2 days of the 2025 draft, with Travis Hunter out, Caleb Ransom never even seeing the field, and Wyatt Milam, I mean, he stepped in for an injured Walker Little. It was good to see him actually on the field for once, but minimal impact from the rookie class. So the Jaguars right now had no business winning this division, but the Jaguars very well could. I mean, huge shout out to Liam Cohen. I may not be, super over here sticking my chest out about Trevor Lawrence being Mr. Franchise quarterback of this team, even though I do think that he'll be the Jaguars quarterback for the long haul, if I'm being real. But, there's certain things I can't defend. But I think the Jaguars got their head coach. Like, I think Liam Cohen is that dude. He brings that fire. He's authentic. He knows a lot about the game of football. I think the Jaguars have the right dude. And Liam Cohen needs to get better. Timeout management, when to call different calls. I truly think that. But, man, if the Jaguars can somehow win this division, that would be insane. And honestly, if you win a division, try to make a big run, because you're not guaranteed anything in the NFL. When the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship game in 2017. Oh, we'll be back. This is just first year of this regime. We'll be back. The Jaguars with Doug Peterson, first year of the Doug Peterson era. Oh, we'll be back. We weren't supposed to do this. We overachieved. We'll be back. Never went back. Now, Liam Cohen, I mean, you had a team that didn't really have any expectations. You go to the playoffs. Let's make some noise, man. Let's not make any excuses. Let's be pissed off if we lose. Not enough people, I thought, were pissed off after the Chiefs game when the Jaguars lost to the Chiefs in 2022. It's like, oh, we shouldn't have even been there. We should be happy. No. Let's go over there. Let's win some games. And let's try to make a run. Shout out to Biggs 904. What's up, man? Says, what up, UCF Victory Monday on a crazy Sunday. Lots of headaches. Where's my Advil? Oh, yeah. That big stop in overtime. Dewey, great pass breakup. LFG 7-4. Yeah, that game was one of those games that was not a fun watch. It was. That Chargers game is as fun of a victory as you can get, and we had to suffer with the most painful win you could get. I mean, that it doesn't get more painful. Like, when it comes to wins, it doesn't get more stressful than that one. But I will take a stressful win over I mean, is there such thing as a fun loss? I'll take a stressful win over a fun loss any day. So, with that said, I'm going to open this thing up to callers. But first, want to give a shout out to this channel sponsor, and that is Sleeper. 100% Deposit match up to $100 using promo code UCFJAG. Also, you guys can opt to get a free $20 entry. I know I had a couple people enter during the game and actually wound up winning. I came one shy of 6xing my money because Trey McBride did everything he could against the Jaguars except for get that anytime touchdown stat that I needed. But it's fine. We do sleeper picks every Wednesday on Club Jaguar and Sundays before the Jaguars game. So I'm definitely tap in. Huge shout out to Sleeper. Also, shout out to everybody in the Chop Leagues. I'm still alive. I'm about to make it to the final 4 and final 5 of both of my Chop Leagues. So that's going well. Fantasy is fun for me. So shout out to Sleeper. Like I said, promo code UCFJAG going to get you a free $20 entry. And they definitely help out the channel. So with that said, if you guys want to come on, talk some Jaguars, I'm going to drop this link. Join the... All right, link is dropped. Now let me go on my phone and pin it. Okay. There we go. Message pinned. Okay. So if you guys want to come on, talk some Jaguars, that's the purpose of this. Get a call and show going. Share your thoughts. And by the way, one thing. Okay, we're gonna get in here. Love from Praha. What's up, man? Love from Praha. You're on.
What's good, man? How's it going?
All is good, man. Hey, good to talk to you.
Hey.
So let's share your thoughts, man. What do you think about the Jaguars right now? What do you think about the future? I know you're a little bit, I guess, pessimistic, I should say, about maybe what we do in the playoffs, but give us your thoughts. I don't think I got you.
Yeah, I've been on your comment section for too long. I figured I had to say something eventually.
There we go. All right, man. Spill your thoughts, man. How do you feel about the Jaguars position right now?
I'm getting like some double feed here.
Yeah, maybe exit out of YouTube.
So basically, I've been following this team for quite a while, as I've told you before. Coming from Europe, I do think that if we make the playoffs, which I think that maybe divisional, I think if we do make it that far, it'll be an ass whooping. I think that we could, but I'm just not too sure.
So what makes you hesitant about your optimism for the Jaguars in a divisional round?
Like I said in the comment, I think that we have the pieces. I think that we have the talent. I think that, despite what everyone says about Trevor Lawrence, I think we have the ability on the whole roster and the coaching staff. But we've seen the whole season that we choke whenever it matters, that we always fall apart at certain key moments, and we always do these mental mistakes, be it the offensive line, Trevor, coaching. And I feel like that's a common theme with us.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with the Jaguars, if anything, like they're clutch when it matters. Like that's the crazy thing about the Jags is like we make all these mistakes, and that's the thing with Trevor Lawrence. Like we get so hard on him that he makes these ridiculous mistakes, but then all of a sudden he pops out of it, and we're able to like actually overcome it. So that's the one thing making me hold on to Trevor Lawrence is like he's got some kind of clutch gene in him.
Yeah, and I think that we have. Yeah, and I think it's entirely possible. I just don't see anything more than divisional, and I think that would be extraordinarily lucky because I think the AFC is more stacked than people give it credit for.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with just getting into the playoffs and even be on a first round.
I do want to say on a side note, because I've been one. Sorry, go.
We're like delayed.
Yeah. So I'm getting like some backbeat, so like there's like a delay in the voice. Keeps throwing me off. But I will say I do think that people do complain entirely too much in this fan base. I think they spend more time complaining on the internet about the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence than they do going to the games. Because when you watch home games, Everbank is completely empty.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true here. I'm gonna remove you just because your the audio is backlogged. But yeah, the fan base can be, I mean, it's a little bit, it's a lot of pessimism for sure. But hey, we've all been fans. We're all just kind of used to it, I guess, at this point. So, by the way, if you guys are backstage, I'm bringing people in one at a time. So I got Gravy. I'm going to bring in Rainbow Dash, 420, then Sav in that order. So only one person talking at a time. So we're going to go ahead and bring Gravy in. What's up, Gravy?
How's it going?
Oh, it's good, man. What are your thoughts about the Jags right now?
I don't know. We've struggled a lot in the season with like teams that we really shouldn't be hanging with. Like we should handle business with the Cardinals. I know they got pieces. Michael Wilson's really good. I thought he was really good coming out of college. Trey McBride's really good, but we get really caught up with these tight ends. Any of these big tight ends that can strengthen the field. Like they had Trey McBride in the slot a couple times. It was just mismatched all over the place. I think Campanelli needs to stop dropping so many players off the 4-man rush. We got a lot of these fire zone blitzes where we're dropping Arik Armstead into coverage. That's part of the reason we don't get home on these 4-man rushes. We got people like Dickerson in there. I don't even know who that is. I've seen him out there like the last 3 weeks. I don't know who he is or what he's doing out there.
I mean, we dropped Mason Smith in coverage one time.
I know. We keep dropping all these big men into zone coverage off the fire zone. I get what he's doing, but the 4-man rush is already so weak. I don't know why we're dropping our best pass rushers back.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's I don't know. I'm never a big fan of it because I just like how often do we see like a defensive lineman that drops back getting a pass breakup? Like you never see it. So I don't know. These guys know more than me. But I'll give Anthony Campanelli credit. He was able to dial up some pressure because the Jaguars just rushing 4 guys. It's just we don't do very good at it. But I do like what definitely like Danny Strugo brought this last game. I thought he was a pretty good addition.
He's had some good pressures where he's sending in the nickel, but I don't know. Anytime he's dropping those big D tackles out in space, I'm not a really big fan of it. He's had a couple times where he's dropped the linebackers out when they were showing blitz. I'm a much bigger fan of that than dropping like Arik Armstead or any of these Mason Smith type of guys back into zone reads.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. It's but overall, I mean, how do you feel? Give me your thoughts. I gotta ask you, what are you doing in overtime? Are you taking the ball? Or are you deferring? What would you do in overtime? Because that was a big talking point this week.
I would have taken it. I like Liam Cohen's, I guess I should say, plan behind it.
Yeah.
Every time you're wearing the defense out, one drive, and they had a good lengthy drive before that. I understand going back to back.
Yeah.
Wear out that defense. It made sense.
And I also, and I like it too because you go from a perspective of like, if the Jaguars had the third and the Cardinals get a field goal, then you're almost like if you go for it on 4th and 10, like you're almost a pussy if you kick a field goal and try to make the tie, right? So I think it's kind of cool going for it because the Jaguars get a touchdown, they force the Raiders to go for 2, and then the very next time the Jaguars get a field goal and they force them to go for it on 4th down. So I don't know. I do like the strategy. It's just interesting that the Jaguars are the only team that's going for it on. That's been receiving the ball at the beginning of overtime. Every other team, I feel like, winds up deferring it.
I think we would probably defer it if we didn't get that back-to-back drive. I think he'd probably switch up.
Yeah. For sure.
What did you think about Trevor this game? What was your overall thoughts on him?
Up and down. I mean, it's just crazy because you can't let those interceptions happen. But then it's like, some of these throws he makes, I've never seen a Jaguars quarterback make it. So I think for that reason, you stick with him. I mean, there's no people throwing out different like options of how to upgrade. I just, I think we ride with Trevor, see where he gets us, and hopefully he can just limit the mistakes. And hopefully maybe another year in the scheme, he learns the offense. Because I think right now his big thing is he's just not very smart on the football field. Can he get smarter? I don't know, but we're gonna have to wait and see.
Had that really bad pick. So I don't think it was Budda Baker, but the other one he had where he was trying to can the play after the timeout with 5 seconds left. We absolutely cannot have that. He's had that a couple times this year where he's getting out of the timeout and back on the field and he's trying to can a play with 3 seconds. We don't have the time to be doing that. And he's trusting what he sees pre-snap way before any of the backers are dropping. That's what led him into that pick in the first place.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. It's gotta stop it. You know, I mean, you look at Matthew Stafford, he looks so comfortable in the offense. I just don't think Trevor looks comfortable. He has to get the football IQ up. That's literally what he has to do. So I don't know, you know, hopefully he can develop that.
I mean, it's been there in previous years. I know he's capable of doing it. I don't know if it's just new system or what's going on, but I believe in him to cool it down. He'll get back.
Yeah. But all right, Gravy, I'm going to move on. Appreciate you calling in, bro.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Next, we got Rainbow Dash in the building. What's up, Rainbow Dash?
Hey, what's up?
What's popping? How do you feel about the Jags?
Kind of hit and miss.
So what were your overall impressions of this takeaways from Sunday's game and overtime?
Honestly, I feel pretty good, but not gonna lie, but also kind of scared for like the rest of the season, you know?
Yeah. Where do you think the Jaguars finish up? You think we get a playoff spot?
Possibly.
Interesting. So which seed do you think we get in with the wild card, or do you think we get in with the division?
I mean, I think we can get in with the wild card.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest thing the Jaguars need to improve on?
Mostly Trevor Lawrence needs to improve on a lot of things.
Yeah. Do you believe in Trevor?
Kinda. I mean, Trevor can have some really awesome plays. He just doesn't seem to want to have them, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. So hopefully, hopefully we can win these next games. You think the Jaguars beat the Titans?
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, give us one bold prediction for the season before we get out of here.
Honestly, for the next game, I think Jaguars 35, Titans 17.
All right. I love it. Hey, appreciate you for calling in, man.
Of course.
Go Jags. All right. Next, we're going to bring Sav in here. What's up, Sav?
Not much. What's up with you?
Not much. How are you feeling about the Jaguars' victory?
I'm pretty good. I like the Jaguars actually.
All right. What made you a Jags fan?
Well, in the beginning, I liked the Eagles, but then I saw the Jaguars, and then I was like, no, what? Let's go to the Jaguars and see how they play.
So you like the Jaguars because of the logo and color, not because you're from Jacksonville or anything?
No.
Oh my gosh. So who's your favorite Jaguar player?
I'm actually not sure because I like them all, so I don't really.
So how do you feel about the Jaguars' chances to make the playoffs?
I feel like they will make the playoffs, but then my mom's a Cowboys fan, so there's a chance that they can or the Jaguars can.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Cowboys gonna need to win some big games. So before we get out of here, I need one.
They actually won against the Eagles last night. Did you watch that?
No, yeah, that was a big one. They came back and won. They needed it to stay alive in the playoffs, so maybe they can expand a little bit and maybe make some noise.
Yeah, I was actually watching the game while I was in the hospital.
Yeah. Oh wow. So give us one bold prediction for the Jaguars as the season goes on. What do you give us one crazy prediction?
I would say 35-15.
All right, 35-15. Well, all right, Sav. Appreciate you for being a channel subscriber, and go Jags.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shout out to Sav. Next, we got big Jags fan in the building. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, you doing all right?
Yeah, man. I decided to go do the call-in show tonight. I was gonna let you call in last night, be the only caller, but I'm like locked out of Facebook on my computer, so I'm like, you know what? We'll run this thing tomorrow.
All right, that's good. But what I want to start off for saying, and for all the fans out there that's freaking out, I'm not apologizing for effing winning. That's the first thing. And I did some research for us, and I don't know why everybody's freaking out about Trevor. When in the past 12 years, we're going back before Trevor, we had one winning season. One, and that was with Blake Bortles. And that was in 12-year span. One winning season. And Trevor Lawrence, I know he's going to win at least 9 games this season, at least 9. That's the floor. That's 3 winning seasons in the past 5 years. What do they want? I don't understand the fans.
Yeah, I mean, people want absolute perfection, right? I know for me, like, I defend Trevor Lawrence a lot just because it's like, he's my guy, he's my quarterback. Like, I want to get behind my quarterback instead of getting down and like bashing him, and I think that's just kind of my perspective on it. And I'll be tough on him when he deserves it and everything. But big Jags fan, you were on the AFC South roundtable 2 weeks ago about to trade him for the Jets picks.
Yeah, I was just trying to be funny on there.
But I'm about to say, you got to defend your guy, man. I was out there. Oh man, it was.
We're not spoiled. I don't understand the fans. We can't be spoiled. We're not spoiled fans. We're not the Chiefs. We're not the Eagles. We're not the Packers, who's had Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. So I really don't understand why they're so mad at him. This is our first time having I would say, a decent quarterback that can win seasons. They're just making me so mad. I don't understand.
Yeah, and with Trevor Lawrence, it's like, he makes some dummy mistakes and everything, but golly, if he can just learn this scheme and become an expert at this offense, and if Liam Cohen can develop himself to where he can really learn how to read NFL defenses, like, bro, he could be like, he could go to the next level, man. It's like you see the throws, like he's made some amazing throws this year, and he's kept us in games and he's helped us win games. I mean, he threw a couple bonehead interceptions, but he came back and was able to get get that touchdown throw to Parker Washington where he evaded pressure, stepped up and threw it.
Did you see he curved it around that defender? I was like, nobody makes that throw.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you can't give up on him. And I'm not trying to go back and try to figure out get tricky with trying to figure out who to draft. I mean, if you want to draft the quarterback 4th round or whatever, cool. But like, I don't know. He's just got too much talent for me to sit here and be like, he's a bum. Let's move on.
Yeah, I was watching Colin Cowherd, and he hates Trevor, like, and the Jags, like the whole media does. But he was saying that he doesn't understand when the game's on the line how Trevor will just march right down there like Tom Brady and score points, and then the rest of the game he's like Jameis Winston he compared him to.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just hope he can limit the mistakes, because I'll tell you what, like, we get into the playoffs, like, I feel good about us every week, to be honest with you. I mean, if you get elite Trevor Ball, and that's the thing, that's also another criticism of Trevor. Let's put 4 good quarters together. 4 good quarters. It's like he's had great quarters, he's had great halves, he's had great drives, but we haven't had it feel like a good solid 4 quarters from him. So that's the one thing I want.
I think when we get in the playoffs, we see it, because he plays, like I said on the roundtable, when he plays big games, he's a totally different person. He plays so clutch and so good. But when we play during regular seasons, it's like he doesn't care. I don't really understand it. But I think when we get in the playoffs, my bold prediction this season is Jags are going to the AFC Championship.
Ooh, what seed are the Jaguars going to be?
4th
seed. Wow. Yeah, because right now, I don't know how the tiebreakers work out, but if the Jaguars win and the Colts lose, that might propel the Jaguars to the number 3 seed, which would be nuts.
Man, imagine that before even playing the Colts. Imagine going on there and talking with Derek. Hey, we're the 3rd seed, buddy.
Dude, the AFC South, for the content, they need the Colts just to go on this losing streak and completely miss the playoffs. That would just be that'd be the 2023 Jaguars. That needs to happen to the Colts.
Yeah,
I mean, Colts are 8-3. Colts are 8-3 right now.
That was my super chat. I think the Texans do take their wild card spot away.
Yeah. The Texans, I think, scare me. I mean, Texans scare me more than the Broncos, more than the Colts.
I would hate to play the Texans.
Than the Bills, more than the Chargers. Honestly, like, Texans, I mean, just that defense, it's a scary defense. And I mean, if their offense can just be like mid, 16th best, they're a dangerous team.
Yeah, imagine we get the 3rd seed or 4th seed and Texans are 6th or 7th, and we have to play them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about rooting for the Colts this next weekend, to be honest with you.
I was thinking the same thing. I want the Colts to win. I want the Chiefs to lose and the Steelers to lose, and just knock them all back a game behind us. I think the Ravens, they don't really bother us because I don't think they'll get the wild card spot anyway. So let's just have the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Texans lose, so we'll be up 2 games on them all.
I feel like we should root for the Steelers to win, though, to overtake Houston a little bit for their wild card spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh wait, but they were playing Buffalo though. So
right. So either way, if any of them lose, they're getting knocked out that wild card spot. So I guess we don't care about that one. But we do. You're right. We want the Texans to lose. We'll just earn the AFC South ourselves by taking it over from the Colts.
Yeah, but regardless, if we get into the playoffs, you're going to play tough teams. So that's just what it's going to be.
We got to get prepared for it. I guess you're right.
Yeah, but all right, man. I'm like backed up on callers.
Right now, I'll let you get
I'll talk with you tomorrow night, man.
Yep.
All right. Next, we're going to bring in Cali Jags fan Isaac. What's up, man?
Yo, Dalton, man, how you doing?
All is good, man. What's your thoughts on the Jags right now?
Look, man, we've been in the dumpsters for years, so we're competing. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
I have a lot of Raider fans who I work with who hate their lives right now. They're fighting each other. It's mutiny right now. They have no answers to their organization. You have their quarterback flipping off the fan base. So the Jags got it pretty good, in my opinion. At least I do. So I wear my gear. I'm rocking my stuff. So it's good to be in the mix, and that's all I care about. Like,
oh, definitely. I mean, in the past, I just wanted to be on the in the hunt graphic because the Jaguars have been so bad. They're not even on the in the hunt graphic, right? And right now we're smack dab in the middle of the graphic. Second wild card spot, fighting for the division spot. I mean, I'm not taking this for granted because I was looking at what the Raiders and Browns yesterday. I'm like, God, these are two teams so far out of it, and I always get to the point where I start to cheer for the team to lose because I want better draft picks, and it gets me a lot of hate on the channel. But I'm myself. I'm me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys on what I want, and more often than not, I root for losses to get draft picks.
Not this year, my man. This year, we're looking at the playoffs, and we're in the mix, and we're building a winning culture, and that will attract other great players. And if you notice, our coach is protecting Trevor. He doesn't dog him. He doesn't say, he makes comments here and there, but nothing where it's detrimental to his mental and to his he's playing mind games, but nothing crazy where it's throwing him off. And and I compare him a little bit to Brett Favre, throwing rocket balls here and there. Just get the win, man. Get the W, and everything else falls in place. And Brad Johnson won a ring for the Bucks, and who cares? He won, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is for us to get used to winning no matter what. And whoever the hell is under the quarterback, under the the center, I don't care as long as we get that W. And I roll into work, and I ain't a Raider fan, but I feel for them, man. They're in the dumps right now, and it's been at that for a while for them, and we're getting out of that, and it's the future's looking bright as far as just the winning culture and attracting other players. We got a new stadium coming in. Like it's a good time. It's a lot of good things to look forward to, and as far as expectations, we exceeded that, and that's all that matters to me. And I have confidence in this. I'm confident in our new regime that they're going to do the right things. Trevor wasn't their man, but as if you look at Goff, they got rid of him in LA, and they brought in Matthews. So they come from that same tree, and I'm sure they're willing to pull the trigger. They're not shy about that. So it's gonna, I trust the process when it comes to them. They come from a winning pedigree, and it's showing now. So
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you. Whatever I have full trust in these guys. Like when they make the trade to give away Tyson Campbell, get Greg Newsome, I'm like, whatever they think is best, because they have my trust, and they have it until they lose it. But I completely trust them, and it feels like we're in a good spot for sure.
For sure, man. All right, man. I'll let you go. Have a good one, man.
Sounds good, man. Peace. All right, next we're going to bring up Isaac. Isaac, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
All is good, man. What's popping?
Not much, man.
How you feeling about the Jaguars after this dub on Sunday?
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Oh yeah? You think playoffs are in store for us?
Of course, I think we can win the division. Even.
Yeah, we're not that far away. I think if we beat the Titans and they lose to the Texans, we'd be at the top spot. It's crazy how things can switch up like that.
That December 2nd game could be for first place in the division.
Yeah, dude, that's wild, man. We're in a fun spot for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching the Jags in the '90s when we had Mark Brunell, so it's been a while.
Yeah. How you feeling about Trevor right now?
But I like Trevor. I think he's a good quarterback. The first decent one since Mark Brunell. I mean,
Yeah.
David Garrard was okay, but Trevor, I mean, he has some things to work on, but I think he's all right.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I mean, there's a lot of things for him to work on, but I mean, he actually gives us, I guess, a little bit of hope that, we have something that we can have going forward. All right, but
I think,
yeah.
I think
Yeah, work right now?
I think we can make it today. I actually just got off one.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I was about to say, man, you're on the clock while on UCF Jaguars
No,
channel.
I just got off the clock. Just got off 2 minutes ago. Yeah. I think we can make it to the AFC title game. I mean, the Broncos don't really scare me because their offense is kind of struggling. Patriots are scary because they don't have Tom Brady anymore, so it's not the same squad.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. So give us one bold prediction as we close out this season.
I think we make it to the AFC Championship game.
Hell yeah, dude, that's what's up. I hope that's in store for us, man, because it's about to get wild if we can do that.
We need a Lombardi is what we need here today. So we just get a Lombardi for good.
I just want one in my life. That's all I need. I just want one.
Yeah.
I just want one. Like, I don't need a dynasty. I don't need all. Just give me one. I want to know what it's like to be a fan of a Super Bowl winning team. That'd be peak for me.
And I think we'll get there. We're working on it.
Yeah, hell yeah. But all right, Isaac, I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man.
All right, next we're going to bring Rick in here. What's up, Rick? Yo, Rick, I think you got to close out of YouTube and get to StreamYard going. Let's see. All right, we're going to. I'll go back to you, Rick. I'll go back to you in a second. We're going to have Ray G in the building. What's up, Ray? Ray, are you there? So you guys know the order we have, it looks like they re-entered. All right, Ray, you here?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Ray? What's popping?
Not much, man. Hey, man, I think people need to enjoy the success that the Jags are having right now. I mean, I've been a fan since day one, dude. So, like, they've only made the playoffs 4 times in the last 25 years. People, I think, forget, that success has not come easily for our Jags. So, I mean, we got to enjoy what's going on right now. 7-4. Yeah, we got issues, but what team doesn't have issues? Trevor frustrates people, but I mean, he makes very good throws sometimes, and yeah, he makes some terrible throws, but people got to enjoy the success we're on right now, and I think the future is very bright for us, man.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy to me is people were like, oh, like, barely beat the Cardinals. Like, God, it's so. I'm like, dude, I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'm going to complain about a win. Just win a game. Win it. Like, I've seen the Jaguars lose that same game so many times. And that's what feels so cool about this regime is like, it's not the same old Jags. Same old Jags loses that game in embarrassing fashion. And then now we're like closing them out. I mean, we're 7-4 right now. The Jaguars are 2.5 point favorites, right? I mean, they cover the spread. It's the NFL. These games are tough. That's just the way it goes. I mean, the Patriots barely beat the Cincinnati Bengals. It's just how it is, man. Just find ways to win. We're 7-4. Got the 6th spot in the playoffs, and we got a manageable schedule coming up. I mean, hell, like we're looking at probably a playoff team right here for the Jags. So I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain about it.
Exactly, man. And what did we all really think before the season even started? We're like, oh, you know what? 8 wins, maybe 9 would be a successful season. And we're at 7, and people are still trying to find ways not to enjoy it. I mean, like, I don't know, man. It's not like any of us thought, oh, Super Bowl for sure this year. Like, hey, we got a good foundation, with Baselli and Gladstone and Liam. I think just the future's bright, man. We just got to enjoy the ride while it lasts.
No, yeah, for sure. And it's fun. I mean, we have some manageable games yet. I mean, look, if you sweep the Titans and beat the Jets, you're 10-7. I mean, that's insane. I was like you. I was like, 8 or 9, 9-8 would be awesome. Maybe push for a playoff spot. And then, man, if we can get into the playoffs, let's make some noise. And it's crazy just because I was saying at the beginning of the show, I feel like the Jaguars have no business winning this AFC South. It would be such a failure for both the Colts and Texans the way their rosters are locked and loaded for Super Bowl pushes, and we were over here bargain bin hunting, in the off season for players. So it's definitely a fun time right now. And if you can get into the playoffs, it's anybody's game. So that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, exactly. As long as we get in, and right now with the way the schedule looks, I mean, and I think we're getting healthier. I imagine like Jordan Lewis is going to be back in the next week or two. I think I expect Harrison back for our O line. I think hopefully Trayvon's injury isn't too bad, but I mean, we just gotta, I mean, just enjoy it while we can, man. That's all I can say. And then as far as like bold predictions and stuff, I mean, people are saying, AFC Championship. I'm just gonna go with, what? We're gonna sweep the Colts. We're gonna sweep the Colts and see how that goes.
Let's go, man. That would be awesome if we can somehow knock those guys out of the playoffs. They're 8-3. Let's let them take what the Jaguars did in 2023. And hell, even the Titans did in 2022, choked away a divisional lead, and that matters. So it'd be really, really cool. But thank you so much for calling in, Ray.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right, next we're going to bring in Matt. What's up, Matt?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. You're here. What's good?
Not much, bro. I'm just very proud of our team right now.
Yeah, man. What are you most excited about, you think?
Well, I mean, again, I'm from Jacksonville, so I've been watching kind of my whole life. I'm in my 20s, so it's kind of been like a wild ride. But I the Urban Meyer days were really rough, and then since then, I feel like we've just been steadily getting better. I feel like right now we're in a kind of just like flip of a coin spot where I feel like if we do sweep the Colts, that would be amazing. But it's going to be rough. I think I think it's gonna be an uphill battle, is what I'm saying. And then like the thing I'm actually kind of most worried about is the Broncos game, because I live in Auburn right now, so I moved from Jax to Auburn, and I saw like Bo Nix when he was here, and then now he's on the Broncos, and he's just like killing it, and it's just kind of like with them being 9-2, it's a little rough. I'm a little bit nervous, but I feel like anything can happen with this team right now. I mean, we beat the Chiefs, and I called like all my friends back at home, and I was just like popping off, and then seeing that Texans loss right after was just so rough, bro. Like, I mean, and I actually visited Jacksonville like as an early Thanksgiving thing last weekend. So I was talking to my friends about the Texans game, and I was just like, dude, I don't know like how to hope for anything going forward, because it was so nice seeing those wins versus them in the last seasons. So I'm just kind of like very stoked that we got that OT win against the Cardinals, and I'm just I don't know, 7-3 looks really nice. I wish it was 8-2, but 7-3 looks nice on us. And I mean, I think we're going to beat the Jets for sure. But if we beat the Colts and the Broncos, I'm going to be really happy.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, if the Jaguars sweep the Titans, which they should, if they beat the Jets, which they should, you're 10-7. So
Yeah,
just find a way to win one out of those three games between the Colts twice and the Broncos. I mean, you're 11-6. That gets you in the playoffs. That'll get you in the playoffs for sure.
absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
really exciting to think about. I mean, we have a very, very solid chance right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just we got to pull through in that one game.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting, and it feels like we're going to get some playoff football. But even outside of that, I mean, we're relevant in the month of November. We're not looking at tankathon. It's just it's a fun. Like sometimes you just have to appreciate. We have to remember where we were and where we are now. I mean, there's only 6 games left on the season, 6 regular season games.
Yeah,
So the season is wrapping up. I mean, the Jaguars make it in. We might only have 7 games left. Like nothing's obviously guaranteed in the playoffs, but let's just enjoy that we have a good team right now. Let's enjoy these next 6 games and really enjoy. I think the most fun part isn't even the games; it's just the discourse from week to week. It's doing these shows and talking and thinking about stuff. And we got Thanksgiving coming up, so yeah, it was cool.
And it was so funny, like seeing my friends who decided to go to the Chiefs game, like, and the ones who missed out, they were so mad, dude. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, you're home right now and you didn't go to that game. Like, that's gotta feel so awful.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But yeah, that was fun. That was I think for me that was probably the peak of the season. Going 4-1 and
Absolutely.
beating the Chiefs in Monday Night Football. That was just
Yeah,
it was weird seeing the Jaguars 4-1 being the record. I'm like, no, we're
I
2-1.
know.
No, we're 4-1. It didn't feel real.
And just like again, like you said for Monday Night Football, like everyone was watching that game too, and that was really sick.
No, it was really cool. But all right, Matt, I'll catch with you. I'll catch up with you later, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Love from Praha Fighter Donation. He says, LMAO, my introductory call to UCF and technical issues. I had so much to say. Hope can catch up some other time and talk shop. Gotta go. But yay, optimism. Yeah, man. We'll be doing these shows more. I try to keep you on a little bit, but you know, the delays were a little bit tough, but appreciate you, man. We got 2 more callers left. We got Gars and then Jake. So we're gonna bring up Gars first. What's up, man?
What's up with you, cuz?
Did I say it right? Is it Garis?
Garris, but close enough.
Garris. Okay, that's cool. What's poppin', man?
I've been hearing from a friend at work that I'm a little bit too negative Nancy on topics, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit less doomer-esque. Now, I do like the Jags. I do like the whole regime change and everything. You know, I was ready to give up on this team because of the whole Doug Peterson tenure and whatnot. I do think there's a lot we can work on. Like, I don't know if I'm optimistic yet that we are this I want to say powerhouse team yet, because we can make the playoffs, but I guess the AFC is just so sporadic right now. Because I mean, I thought that it was a good chance the Chiefs wasn't going to make it, but now that they beat the Colts, they just jumped up in the rankings. They jumped up in their odds of getting back in the playoff picture. I always found that Chargers game to be a bit weird because I thought like that was our chance of coming back until I looked at their injury history and I looked at how Joe Alt was still hurt, Rashawn Slater was still hurt. I think Amari and Hampton was still hurt. So I was like looking at it, I was like, what was the deal? Like, was it that we just capitalized on a team that was recovering? And then I watched that Cardinal game and I was like, oh, okay, so that was what it was. The Cardinals came to play and they Joshua Dobbs was, Joshua Dobbs, I'm sorry. Jacoby Brissett was very, very accurate that game. I do think there's a chance that we can improve. It's just that like there's a harsh thing in me that looks at it and I'm looking like, I think we have what it takes. It's just that there's some simple things that we're just not doing that I don't think we're doing enough. You know, when ETN and Tootin gets the ball, they're amazing, but we just don't give it to them enough times. Also, as far as the whole Trevor thing, I think Trevor, I'm at that point where I just accepted that Trevor is just going to be a person who's just going to be madly inconsistent. He's going to be great one days and he's going to be very, I don't want to say bad, like, because I think people go too far. I'll just say very, very below average some other days. But I don't want to start the whole thing where it's like Trevor is the problem. We know that he's not the problem. There's a bunch of problems that plague the Jags. I mean, so I think like if there's anything, I think the Jags are in a step in the right direction. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm very afraid because I think there's a lot of things that, that are going sporadic for our team, but at the same time, a little bit hopeful because there's a lot of things going sporadic for other teams, i.e., the Colts, the Broncos, and, the Chiefs.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I really don't think the Jaguars are all that good right now either. Like, I think we have a good record. We're 7-4, and it's a situation of any given Sunday. And I think the Jaguars' chances of making the playoffs are pretty high. And if you get into the playoffs, it's any man's game at that point. I mean, you just go out there. I mean, we have a quarterback that can make all the throws. He's just a dummy sometimes. We've seen the Jaguars dominate in the trenches. I like the coaching staff and just that. If players do their jobs, I mean, you can make a little bit of a run. It's not the NBA where you need to win 4 out of 7, right? It's just, you got to get a better game plan. I don't think the Jaguars in 2017 were better than the Steelers. It's just, we matched up and played better than they did. So it's, a situation where the Jaguars roster, it will get better next year. The Jaguars are overachieving based on what the roster is and where we are as an organization. But it's exciting that we're here. We're talking playoffs, and we'll probably get into the playoffs. And, once you're in, you're talking about it. The AFC is sporadic. Like, there's no, I watch the Los Angeles Rams. They look scary. They're in the NFC. The Seahawks, they look scary. They're in the NFC. There's probably 3 better teams in the NFC than what is in the AFC in here. So it's
I agree.
Yeah. So It's the AFC, so we'll just have to see. And it's all about when you peak, right? It felt like the Colts peaked really early. Right now, the Rams are peaking. We'll see who's peaking come January, because the Jaguars, maybe they're a team that could come to that peaking territory. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this before I go. Like, it's I always don't pay attention to the first 5 or 6 weeks of the schedule, because I know there's a lot of teams that they don't make sense, if that makes sense to you, because there'll be teams that are very middling and then they'll just jump off the page once the last half of the year hits. I don't believe that the Green Bay problem is going to persist to the playoffs. I think they're going to improve that. Like that's why I never write off certain teams, i.e. the Packers, because they always usually improve, because Matt LaFleur is just like insane when it comes to adjusting. I think we will adjust. I think the only thing is, will we stay healthy enough to take that extra step, because we've been having to move around a whole bunch of people with what is it? I think it was Cam Little was hurt. I can't remember. I think it was either Cam Little or Wyatt Milam. I can't remember who it was.
Cam Little got hurt, and then Wyatt Milam came in, but then Cam Little came back. So
okay. We would just have to stay healthy then.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, appreciate you calling in, man.
No problem.
All right, go Jags. All right, last caller. We have Jake in the building. What's up, Jake?
Hey, Dalton, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you.
Cool, man. So I just wanted to say, I was at the game yesterday, and I was actually really impressed with how many Jaguar fans were there. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was cool to see Duval show up.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, so a lot of the talk has been about how inconsistent we are as a team, mostly with Trevor and whatnot. But I will mention, here's where I think we are consistent and what can bode well for a playoff run. We run the football pretty well, and then we also do stop the run on defense. I'm sure you might have noticed the Cardinals were very one-dimensional yesterday. I mean, they only moved the ball to the air. I mean, same thing happened even though we lost against the Texans. I mean, they didn't run on us. We just couldn't stop Davis Mills. So those are two things that bode well for a playoff run, is stopping the run and running the ball yourself. I mean, obviously 4 turnovers most days is not going to cut it, but hey, I give Trevor all kinds of credit, because every time they turned the ball over and the Cardinals, did something with it, they scored, they took the lead, we always came right back and answered. And for everybody saying like, oh, Trevor's the problem, is like, obviously there's been times where he has struggled, but I don't see 10 other guys on offense just balling out and he's holding them back. And so, losing the turnover battle 4-0. I mean, how many quarterbacks have we had over the course of this franchise that could come back from that? I mean, maybe Mark Brunell does it in his prime, but I watched David Garrard a ton, and as good as he could play at times, he wasn't going to win a game losing the turnover battle 4-0, and certainly Bortles wasn't going to do that. Blaine Gabbert wasn't going to do that. Gardner Minshew ain't doing that. So I still give the guy a ton of credit for balling out when it mattered.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Like with Trevor Lawrence, you feel like you always have a chance to win. I just remember having Gardner Minshew, and we were down in the Dolphins game. I'm just like, man, this guy just doesn't have an arm to throw it. And there's like Blake Bortles never had comeback victories. Like Trevor Lawrence, like he has the arm, he has everything. Like we've seen him make all the amazing throws, but for every amazing throw, there's an equally dumb throw. So it's like, man, if this guy could just figure it out, get the football IQ up, it would just be amazing. And I'm hoping that, heck, maybe he can do it this year. If not this year, next year, another year in the scheme, a year to really watch himself on tape. Because right now, the biggest problem with Trevor Lawrence is football IQ. And I feel like that's up to the coaches to be able to get that up.
Yeah, I mean, he is not. There's been quarterbacks I've seen where they have like a very specific skill set that they can kind of rely on to win some games, but they're physically limited overall. And Trevor Lawrence, he's not physically limited. There's nothing that I look at him and think, oh, he physically is not capable of that. It's kind of what's going on between the ears. And that's not to say he's like a dumb player or anything like that, but playing quarterback is a lot more than just what you're physically doing. It's a lot of what happens at the line of scrimmage before the ball's even snapped. And that's probably where he needs to improve. And so that's a coaching thing that hopefully he can figure out. I mean, poor guy. I mean, his rookie year, he had to deal with Urban Meyer. I mean, no one's going to be successful under that regime. Yeah. And then, I think Doug Peterson probably initially, it seemed like he did some good things. I can't exactly put my finger on what went wrong last year. I mean, maybe it was Press Taylor. I don't know. But yeah, I think the point is Trevor's not going anywhere. And anybody who says like Trevor needs to go, I'm like you said the other day, like, well, what's a realistic option? Who's out there that you think is going to just come in there and just make everyone better? Because the realistic thing is this: we really don't have a number one wide receiver. As good as Strange has looked at times as a solid tight end, Brian Thomas still, I mean, for whatever reason, I hope that when he comes back from injury, he plays like he did towards the last stretch of last year. But it's really hard to look like a really big time grade A quarterback when you have to rely on Parker Washington a lot. And that's not a slight at him. It's just that Parker Washington's skill set is meant to be a great special teams player and then a guy who can come in and make about 5 catches a game for 50, 60 yards, maybe get a touchdown. But he's not a guy that you're thinking, hey, I want to get this guy the ball 10 times a game and try to get 100+ yards. I mean, that's just not who he is. So, yeah,
the Jaguars have a really, really good wide receiver 3 in Jacoby Myers, really, really good wide receiver 4 in Parker Washington. I'm not sure if any team has any better wide receiver 3 than 4 than us. But right now, the Jaguars offense is missing a wide receiver 1 and a wide receiver 2, and it's honestly evident when you watch the Jags. Sorry,
and maybe Brian Thomas can be that guy. He comes back from injury. Maybe he's got his head space right. We can only hope. But honestly, it might be something where either Brian Thomas does become that guy, or you're looking for some help outside the organization in following years. But like I said before, if you can run the ball and stop the run, again, I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl, but that bodes well for at least a playoff berth and to do something in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Control the trenches, control the mistakes. I think those are the two biggest things, win the trenches and limit the mistakes. And that means turnovers, that means penalties, just play disciplined football and just don't beat ourselves. And we could really make a run here, but at the very least, so we can get into the playoffs, that's a W in itself.
Absolutely. I'm thinking we're going, you know what? I'll say we go 11-6. I'll say that.
All right. I like it. That to me, music to my ears. I don't know if 10-7 gets you in. 11-6 definitely will. And depending on who you beat, that could, if you sweep the Colts, I have a very good feeling that's going to get you into being able to host a playoff game in Jacksonville. And we all know how that goes.
Unfortunately, you're probably going to have to root for the Cowboys this Thanksgiving since they're playing the Chiefs. I hate to do it, but probably going to have to root for the Cowboys.
It's fine. I don't really have a lot of hate for them. My thing where it gets hard for me is like I have to decide if I want to root for the Texans or Colts this next weekend.
You root for the Texans. Here's why. You root for the Texans because at the end of the day, you want to win the division. I mean, a playoff berth either way is nice. But right now, we're only a game behind the Colts. So I'm thinking, hey, if we can take care of business against the Titans and the Colts lose, I mean, we control our own destiny to win the division. So, yeah, I hate the Texans as much as the next Jaguar fan. But in this case, I think you got to hope the Texans beat them. So you at least have a chance.
See, Jake, you're talking with the logical football person hat on right now. I'm talking with the hat of like, I absolutely hate the Texans. I don't want them in the playoffs because screw those guys. So that's the perspective I'm looking at. Like if the Texans, if you're a smart football guy, you want to root for the Texans. You want to get the AFC South, and then you don't really care about who the wild card teams are. I don't like the Texans, so I would rather the Chiefs be in the playoffs than the Texans. I'm going there. I'm going there, man.
I understand. I just have a deep-seated root for deep-seated hatred for the Colts because I've been watching Jaguars football since 1999, and throughout the 2000s, Peyton Manning just every year. Like there were years we went 12-4 and 11-5 in the 2000s, and we'd still be a wild card. And I just hated the Colts. And then they got Andrew Luck. So I think there's some of that in me from back when I was in like middle school and high school, where I'm like, I still just hate the Colts so much.
Yeah, it happened a long time ago, and I just developed my own personal rivalry with the Texans, and especially with the Aziz Al-Shaair thing and all that's going on. Like they dominate us. I mean, the way the game went a couple weeks ago, and also the fact that like there's not that many teams are really scared of in the AFC playoffs. But man, that defense, like that's tough, man. They make they make every quarterback look like crap. To be completely honest with you, they make Bo Nix look bad. They made Josh Allen look bad. Yeah, it's just, and of course they make Trevor Lawrence look bad too. But Trevor Lawrence is going to get all the disrespect for playing bad against them. It's just they're a tough watch.
I will say, if the Texans were to make it into the playoffs somehow with a defense like that, that could be, that would be infuriating. And also that would be kind of scary. But at the end of the day, I don't really trust their offense, no matter who's at quarterback. At some point, either Davis Mills or CJ Stroud are gonna give something away.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, Jake, sorry. I'm gonna head on out of here. Appreciate you for calling in, man.
Yeah, thanks for your time, man. Go Jags.
Go Jags. All right. Well, I think that's going to conclude it for today's show. We're going on an hour, 5 minutes. I got to make some content for my TikTok. So, guys, follow me on TikTok at UCF_Jaguar. I'm really trying to grow on that platform over there. But hey, while you're at it, if you have any social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I'm out there at UCF_Jaguar. Hey, and look at this. We got a buzzer beater in here. We got FTX Smoke Eater joining the YouTube membership, Pride of the Jaguar level. Let's freaking go. If you guys are members, go ahead and welcome in here with the Duval emojis down below. Let's go, dude. Really, really appreciate that. Last minute buzzer beater in the building. But with all that said, with FTX Smoke Eater stealing the show here, we're going to end it here. Drop likes on your way out, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. AFC South Roundtable tomorrow night, Club Jaguar on Wednesday. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So appreciate all you guys so much. Go Jags.